We're going to go ahead in this video and talk about the planning process. Most of the time when we talk about the planning process, a lot of people will never do it. And they won't do it because they don't need to do it. Well, the problem with that is that later on when the programs get more difficult, you'll need to know how to plan so you can do it efficiently. So I know this program that I'm going to give you doesn't need a planning process, but we're going to go ahead and go through one anyway, because I want you to learn how to implement the planning process. All right, the planning process has a couple different things to it, actually 4 or 5 different things, and I'm going to cover the first 2 with you now. Here is part of your handout, and in your handout you have this planning process, and this is what I call the task sheet. And on the task sheet we're going to identify what our problem is. And in this particular problem we need to calculate the miles per gallon driven on a trip. So number 1 is the miles per gallon. We need to calculate the miles per gallon on a trip. So I just put that down here for number 1. Number 2, I need to kind of figure out what input do I need to ask for from the user. Well, if I'm going to calculate the miles per gallon on a trip, I need to ask for 2 things. How many miles were driven and how many gallons were used. So those are the things that I need to ask for the user. Number 3, what am I trying to calculate? What's my output? My output's going to be the miles per gallon. Number 4, what's my processing? Well, the miles per gallon is equal to miles divided by gallons. And number 5, are there any special concerns? And in this case, there aren't. At this point, I need to identify the variables, the storage areas in my program. And the variables are going to be miles, MPG, and gallons. Those are my 3 variables. Now the next thing on my task sheet that I do is I identify, or I actually create what we call a screen drawing. This is my screen drawing. This is how my output is really going to look. Now again, keep in mind, you have this handout, so I'm not too concerned that you can't really see anything that I'm showing you. Line 1 says, how many miles did you travel? A question mark and a space, and a little X, or a little blank spot there for the user to respond. The response is going on the same line as the question. Line 2 says, how many gallons of gas did you use? Question mark, space, and a blank line. Then I have a blank line, a blank right here, and then I actually have my line of output that says you got XXX miles per gallon. This is my screen drawing. This is what I want my computer monitor screen to look like when the program runs. So I need to write the code to give me this. Okay, these represent the first 2 pieces in the planning process. There's more to come.